updating patch. The patch already? It just came out an hour ago. He'll rob off you. He's a liar, dick. I don't like going in there. So screw that guy.
Ken comes in a different box.
Wearing a cock ring on his neck.
What the?
6 men and 5 women.
Kinky.
You're probably wondering why I ain't got my license. If I run over the first person I see.
Emmerdale. Spot, really?
More like Emma.
Fail.
Good evening, everyone on the internet. Welcome to the Straight Up Warlords. Wait, no.
What?
That's not it, is it? No, Straight Up Busters. Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
I am your host for today, Gem. And I shall go through my brilliant and obviously well-adjusted group of friends who are also on the show. I'll go through them in alphabetical order, starting with Dingle. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Dingle. I won't be talking as much because I've got a poorly throat, so bear with me, guys. But yeah, I'm Dingle. Ready to mingle, kinda.
And the next one is R-Techz.
It's R to the text. What's going on, everyone? Yeah, we're in here. We're gonna talk about some shizzle, how we always do. I'm ready and raring. Yep, that's it.
And the last one is SD.
Hi, everyone. I'm sober anyway. Back to Gem.
Let's start off with our first topic, the quote-unquote serious topic. We are going to be talking about the Barbieheimer whole situation that's going on.
Okay.
And how that has affected cinema and people. So, just so everyone knows.
That went really quiet then for ages.
Did
What
it?
was that about?
I think
Well,
that's
Am I losing my mind?
talking the whole time.
I've been talking the whole time, yeah.
I'm losing my mind then.
You must be, yeah. We're talking about Barbie and Oppenheimer.
All right.
So, just for everyone who doesn't know, Barbie and Oppenheimer are two movies that came out on the same day. And one is about a plastic toy, and the other is about a man who created the nuclear bombs. Well, was involved in the creation of the nuclear bombs. And with those two coming out on the same day, just so everyone knows, that it has been the highest box office since Avengers Endgame, which means it's also the highest box office since COVID.
Damn. What? Wait, which one has?
Those two together.
Ah, right.
They released on the same day. I don't know which one was bigger out of the two. I think Barbie sold more, but then Oppenheimer is also a 3-hour movie, and people probably know that. And
Yeah, the one with Harley Quinn in it. I thought that was a perfect person to put in there. A psychotic girl.
What's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's one. She is lovely.
It's the name, that's why I like. It's the name, that's why.
But yeah, there have been some complaints made against Oppenheimer.
Like
the actor isn't Jewish.
The actor isn't Jewish.
Oppenheimer was Jewish, and the actor isn't. But at the same time, the person who made the complaint clearly didn't watch the movie. I personally haven't watched the movie, but hearing from actual reviews from actual people who've watched it, the fact that the character is Jewish gets brought up a lot. So,
yeah, that type of stuff really grinds me, man. Like people say, only gay people can play gay people.
Gay actors.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and stuff like that.
It's an act. It's acting. It's the whole point, you know. Yeah.
You know,
what imagine diversity.
Imagine if Rain Man came out these days. People would be on the. I can't remember the actor's name. People would be on his case because he's not actually disabled.
That's right.
Or whatever. What's wrong with him?
Yeah. It is ridiculous.
The whole point of acting is to be someone you're not. So that makes me laugh.
Yeah. The person who made these complaints is a Jewish man who continues to make his own racist content, but because he's Jewish, he thinks he can get away with it. And then he one time made an apology for making racist content,
Right.
but it was an absolute failure of an apology, basically saying that the person who was offended and he was apologizing to was weak.
Oh. That
So-
sounds just like what SE would do.
What to say they're weak?
Yeah.
You have no right to comment. You're weak.
Oh dear. Yeah. So, what is there anything in particular then, or just to talk about those two as a whole?
I mean, I was wondering if anyone has actually watched either of them yet.
I have not.
Barbie. I've seen Barbie on my own. I saw it yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
My missus has seen Barbie. Yeah, the Margot Robbie, perfect actor to play Barbie because she's played Harley Quinn, so she knows how to play the psychotic girlfriend situation. And I think it really pushes forward the message they're trying to send to little girls. But yeah, it's only patriarchal. You know, the patriarchy is only in charge when the female is psychotic and self-absorbed.
Mm.
Mm.
Which is basically feminazi in a nutshell.
Unfortunately, I haven't watched Barbie, so I can't refute that. But I also don't think that's real. I don't think you're telling the truth, SD.
I think there's a
Why are you
lot.
always lying?
Margot Robbie is perfect actor for it, just for acting style. I mean, I mentioned it on Facebook that Margot Robbie was the perfect psychotic girlfriend and brilliant position, but rather than who played Ken again, it was some fucking
Ryan Gosling.
All of the male
so-
characters were called Ken, and all of the female characters were called Barbie. Just to confuse everyone.
yeah.
Ken
And
number
it
23.
really-
Step forward.
Can somebody name a movie that Ryan Gosling was in?
He was in Drive. I haven't seen it.
Well, not really any high profile films. He wasn't really. I wouldn't say he's a great actor.
I mean, have
yeah.
you seen? What was it? Oh, what's that film?
Yeah, exactly. You can't think of the film again, yeah.
No, I'm thinking of the film. I can't remember the name of it.
He played into his hand there, Jim.
Blade Runner? He might have been in.
Blade Runner 2033 or something like that.
Yeah. And I think a young Jim Carrey would have been perfect actor for it, simply because of his acting style. And he would have played the perfect boyfriend, like a long-term relationship kind of boyfriend.
Unfortunately, we do not have young Jim Carrey anymore. As he is aged.
No,
Yeah,
can't just
yeah,
phone
which
him
really
up.
sucks, really.
I'll just phone up young Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Why not just go back in time
young.
and fucking bring him forward for it?
Oh,
I would also like to suggest young Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well,
Okay,
obviously I
well,
haven't seen it. That was
That was a joke, yeah.
It was in jest for anyone listening, thinking I'm I want to watch
In
it.
jest.
Yeah. But I can only go on the review that I heard because I was interested in the review, maybe not the actual film itself, but it seems very feminist based. From I can't go on what it is exactly because I haven't seen it, as none of us have. But yeah, it seems very. What they were saying is pushed in your face quite a lot, and it's all about bringing down the patriarchy, down with men, and I guess putting us in a good light. From
Never is.
They're in Barbie land and then they get out. The Kens get out, realize how our world is, then they bring it back, and they basically the Barbies were like the bosses of the Kens, so to speak. And then the original Ken comes back, and then they flip it on its head. So all the Kens are in charge and whatnot, and then it basically just ends with Barbies getting their own way again. So back to the start of the film. And I think they could have made like a more equality point and, you know, all come together like, oh, we're all equal, let's have the same rights, rather than just, oh yeah, men rule, women rule type of thing. But
What you're saying, like where the men's strengths are women's weaknesses, and women's strengths are men's weaknesses. And when we work together as a team, we don't have any weaknesses. That kind of equality.
when we work together as a team, we can make babies.
Yeah, remember, only a man and a woman can make babies. I just want to make that clear.
Can procreate, at least for the time being, anyway. Who knows the way science is going?
Well, think about it. If they make us all hermaphrodites, you can literally tell somebody to go fuck themselves.
Oh, got that.
Got that. What, the hermaphrodite joke?
No, I just said God damn it because I was actually in pain from that.
I swear he said cut that.
No, I said God damn it.
Oh,
Yeah. You heard what you wanted to hear, SD.
Anyway, I do have a question.
Go on.
Wasn't the original Ken gay?
Oh,
I thought it was bald.
Yeah, Ken comes in a different box.
Like, the original.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it was the original one or whether it was a specific Ken. Maybe it was the nightlife Ken. But he was based on the fashion of the time, and the fashionable men at the time were gay men, and so he was wearing a cock ring on his neck.
what the? What wasn't an actual cock ring? What was it?
Oh my god.
It wouldn't have been an actual cock ring because the people who designed it didn't realise what it was. But yeah.
What?
Black Ken.
You're playing around with Ken's cock ring. Ugh.
His plastic bump that doesn't do anything.
So therefore, Ken's gay.
Therefore, Ken's gay. I mean, I never. It seems like such a weird thing to think about. I don't think I ever, you know, I never thought about actually sexually.
I didn't think they had genders. You pull their pants down, it's smooth, like they're saying, smooth as Ken.
I mean, what I don't get is the whole ridiculous thing with the Barbies, and it started off of. Do you know who actually owns, Barbie as a brand?
Mattel.
The majority of the board, literally, there's one man on the board, and the rest are women. All the women are in charge, but yet they're pushing this notice where, oh, it's men who are the trouble, they're the bad guys, when it's really this entire brand's literally controlled by women, which makes no sense when it comes down to, the patriarchy are the bad thing.
Okay, I'm going to look this up because I don't believe that at all.
I mean, I don't understand why it wouldn't make sense. That makes
I
perfect
think
sense.
it's just the money scrounging.
This is going off a different video I've already watched on Barbie and Oppenheimer.
I did watch it.
It's like electoral map.
That Dingle says peace.
I did watch a thing on YouTube the other day. It was like this guy doing like commentating over like this Barbie like season episode thing, and it was just bad. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But it was so like it was Barbie trying to fight the popular kids at school, and the way that they portrayed these popular kids, and it was just bad. But there was like other characters, because there's a guy that fancies Barbie in it, and it turns out at the end they get together, blah blah. But his name wasn't Ken. I was like, "Where's Ken in this bad boy?"
No, we've established
never seen.
Okay, just so everyone's aware, the company that owns Barbie, Mattel, I'm looking at their board of directors right now, and there are more men than women. Only one more men than women. But yeah,
many men.
Many men.
There are.
What else do they own then? They own more toys.
What? Really?
Yes, 6 men and 5 women.
Kinky.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But they also own Polly Pocket, Barney, and Hot Wheels.
Mattel owns a lot of things. You can shop Mattel, American Girl, Mattel Creations, Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher Price, Mattel Playroom.
Fisher Price?
Yeah, Mattello and
Fisher
Price.
Price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the toy shop, innit?
Oh, I thought. Oh wow. Yeah. That's what I thought it was.
But it's also a brand
Did
of
you
toys.
think it was actually a chip shop?
Yeah, but it's chippy. Fucking hell.
And there's
That's a bit
Dominic.
of a weird.
I know.
there's
Imagine
Dominic-
that at like the board meeting. They've got all the other companies. And they're just like, what should we do?
It's just like around eating chips.
Originally created by a woman, so
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
but-
that's not surprising at all.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that who currently owns it, the board of directors, is still more male than female, but it's still quite evenly matched.
Mm.
But yeah, you
so
also
yeah,
get
so the makers of Barbie is pretty much almost equal representation between the matriarch and the patriarchy. Then, so it's not as bad as they say it is.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, we were just talking about the actual film, not. But yeah, I mean, I can only go on that review. It's not saying I mean, let's be honest here. Unless any of us have a fesh for Barbie, and as much as I do fancy Margot Robert, whatever, Margot Robert, whatever her name is,
Robbie,
okay,
yeah.
Robbie, that's it, not Robert. Actually, as much as I'm attracted to her, it's just, yeah, there's no way in hell I don't think any of us are going to watch it, are we?
I mean,
yourself.
I mean,
be
I
honest,
would watch it. See,
Out-
Feel free to tell me if any of you guys do, but
out of the two,
No.
I'd rather watch Barbie, mostly
What?
because it's not 3 hours long.
it could be really good.
Lord of fucking Rings.
Yeah. Who's the main actor? Is it the guy from Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, it's the guy from Peaky Blinders.
Oh, what's his damn name?
Tom Shelby.
It's not Thomas
Oh.
Shelby. That's not the name of the actor.
No, that's the
Oh, Shelby.
No, that's the guy he plays in Peaky Blinders. Tom Shelby.
Well, he plays as two people, a man and a woman, Tom and Shelby.
Yeah. Obviously, the way the world's going, you don't discriminate, so you've got to play both roles now.
That's true.
Cillian
Yeah.
Murphy, that's his name.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
this
okay.
William Shakespeare by any chance? Because he had a load of blokes dressing him as women.
Yeah, but nowadays you also get a lot of women dressing as blokes. So
Mm.
I mean, what it
vice
is,
versa.
back then it was a bit of fun and entertainment. Now it's in schools, which is weird.
Yeah, I think it was more for entertainment
Stay as
purposes.
it is.
I mean, if I went to my daughter's school and I saw some kind of weird trans piece of shit fucking slut dropping in front of my child, I'll be having fucking words.
Jesus,
You're having more than words.
See, I can't even go on
Get my
TikTok
foot in
without
his
seeing
ass.
someone
You might-
live.
Mm.
People debating, should trans women be able to use women's toilets?
Mm.
I was thinking, you need to get a life if that's what you're worrying about.
I mean, there's plenty of rapes in American schools thanks to them allowing trans people to enter women's bathrooms.
Well, once
I mean,
you,
that's
it's like,
what's
I mean, I just want to point out that a lot of states have banned that actually. So
Hey.
if there's lots of rapes going on, then that's
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that,
entirely
really.
against what you're saying, because a lot of the states have banned trans people from going into the toilets that they identify with.
Mm.
because you're meant to on toilets. It's be a bit weird for a woman, wouldn't it? Like, you know, and a man,
I mean,
a
for
woman
Christ's sake-
coming in with a mustache and shit. It'll kind of make you feel a bit on edge, wouldn't it? Like, oh
Yeah, of
shit.
Mm.
You know,
Trans people have
hi, my
already
name's Sarah.
getting okay.
I had
We
none of
got
that.
off topic again.
We have. So what is that? What was the one called in the other film?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Sounds very
Okay.
German, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
So what? So is it a documentary then, or is it?
it's a dramatization of his life around about the just before and during the Second World War.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
I mean,
I'm
come
far
on.
off.
Maybe 3 hours, but it's going to be more interesting than bloody Barbie.
Probably,
Well,
but
tell that
yeah.
to all the kids out there.
Apparently there's also a lot of sex in it.
Oh, now I'm definitely
In
watching
Barbie?
Barbie.
What the
No,
fuck?
Oppenheimer.
I know.
Oh, I'm clipping that. That's
The
my
bird
first
in
clip.
plastic.
Apparently there's lots of sex-based jokes in Barbie, actually.
Don't surprise me because kids won't get it. There's loads of Disney as
Within
well.
like the first 15 minutes as well.
I'm not so sure
beat
about
you
that,
off.
Dingle. I think kids know a lot more than they should these days, mate.
I'm gonna beat you off.
Straight to it.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm saying it multiple times because they did it in the movie.
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okie dokie then.
You're gonna come in your box.
But yeah, as I was saying, like Oppenheimer, it's supposed to be like. Obviously, we don't know for certain that everything that happens in the movie actually happened to Oppenheimer. It's based on what we do know about his life, and then
So what nationality was he? What nationality was he?
I believe he was Dutch,
Oh, okay.
but he's
I
also.
mean, something like that would be interesting. I mean, maybe not to watch all of them. You could watch it in a couple settings, I guess.
He was Dutch. He moved to America during the Nazi occupation. Well, I guess just before the Nazi occupation of like Western Europe, and helped with the development of the Manhattan Project, which then created the first nuclear bombs. But by the time that he finished that, Western Europe had capitulated. And so basically his life's work at that point became useless for the reason that he was doing it for.
Yeah.
And then it was used on the Japanese.
You should have watched Barbie with I went name drop. Should have watched Barbie with your partner, Esty. That'd have been a romantic little outing.
Yeah, I
Your
decided to stay
spouse.
home after my child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you couldn't pay me an amount to watch bloody Barbie. But I do think there's a lot. Sorry, go on.
I don't really watch films only if they're like horror or gory. So there'd be no chance in hell I'll sit down and watch. Maybe the war one, because I can see that kind of having a bit of gore in it, but not much. But I'm just mainly, horror based. That's me. Just where I am.
Yeah, I might check with my partner what she's doing or what our hours are like this coming week and see if we want to go to see one of them.
Oh no, you're not going to watch Barbie, are you? Tell me you're not.
No, that'd be hilarious.
It'll be depending on what my partner wants to watch.
Oh damn!
So,
if you
Kat,
do, don't ever admit it to us because we'll rip it into you.
Kat, if you're listening to this at the moment, send me a message and say which one you want to watch.
Barbie. You need to get the shirt and everything before you go in there. The Barbie shirt and before you go in the cinema.
I don't actually own any pink.
You should show up in like a. I love pink. I'm in pink as we speak.
Anyway, I think we've exhausted that topic, haven't we? Because
let's move on.
Yep.
So the other topic tonight is being done by our good friend R-Techz. R-Techz, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Speak for yourself.
My one's a bit more open-ended. I wanted to get thoughts on if there are specific game mechanics and anything that we we hate about whatever game it may be, whatever type, genre. Basically gaming pet peeves. So, for instance, I don't like games where it's pay to win. I think they are the worst. I think paying for cosmetics is all fine and dandy as long as it doesn't affect the actual gameplay. I didn't see a issue with that. But sometimes the leveling system on Destiny 2 is one of the grindiest games I've ever played in my life. But I worked so hard to get to where I was, so I would start off at 750 power level, and I grinded my arse off for however many months until the next season. And I got fair level, what have you. And suddenly, when the new season came in, everyone who joined from that point were all at 1,000 whatever, and I was, I was under that level, but I was near it already. So the new people are just coming in exactly the same as me after putting all of those hours, and it was just like, what?
Paid for it.
Well, they might not have paid for it. They might have just joined when that season started, but it sort of resets. Like, not really resets.
Okay.
When you join in, it will give you a base level.
Yeah.
And you can't be any lower than that.
It brings you to the level of the content that you're about to go into for that season.
Yeah. Which I
means...
can understand. I think for PvP, that's great. But PvE and just in general, it's a kick to the balls. So people who have spent so much time and energy on getting
kick to the space balls.
Yeah, it's wait, what? Yeah, things like that. I don't like dialogue where it seems pointless. So you get RPGs, and you're the choices you have are just they're all stupid as one another, and you close your eyes and just select whichever one you land on.
The worst one for that is where you get you're in an RPG, get confronted by someone who wants you to do a quest for them, and if you say no, it still gets put into your quest thing as being, oh, go to this person when you want to do the quest. It's sort of like, but I just said no to them. I don't want to do the quest. I do not want to have anything to do with this person.
Yeah, it just gets logged. That's the thing with Oblivion. It gets logged as soon as you hear about it, even if you don't hear it. Like, when you just walk into an inn and they're having a conversation about some troll in a cave, and it would just be added there. I'm like, what?
Someone in the furthest corner of it is having a conversation, but you're also hearing another conversation next to you. So you don't actually hear what they're saying because the person next to you is talking louder.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, it either comes up as new conversation topic or new quest. It is ridiculous.
But yeah, there are a couple of things. I don't like it when games, they give you a choice and your choices don't really matter. What I love about Mass Effect, I know I keep bringing it up fairly often, it's because in case you guys didn't know, Alex, but it carries over for 3 games. 3 games it carries over, like your choices, and they affect the world. They may not affect the ending, so to speak, until the 3rd one. But overall, your choices really do matter. A lot of games advertise it when in reality it changes fuck all.
Yeah.
It's
like
Dragon Age also kind of does that, where your choices do carry over, and sometimes it does have a big effect, sometimes it doesn't. Like
they did that in Detroit Become Human. That was the last game I played where your choices actually mattered.
Wasn't there like that game as well? To that game or something?
There was there was probably, I think there was more than that.
What?
There was different endings. I mean, you could start the game depending on your choice. You could die straight away, and that'd be the end of the game.
What? Yeah,
literally. That'd be it.
In every one of those types of games, but basically, there's one person who made that game who's made a few of them. There's Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit, or
Yeah.
whatever Fahrenheit was called. I can't remember what Fahrenheit was called elsewhere. Anyway, this person made these games, and basically they're like interactive movies, and in every single one of them, from the very first moment that you interact with each playable character, you can get them killed. And so your game can be like 5 minutes long by just going to each character and just doing everything you can to get them killed as quickly as possible.
Speed run.
Yeah, speed run. Speed death.
5 minutes.
Massacre the whole village.
It's like, was it Chinese babies? Was it 1.5 seconds if it's a girl?
Anyway.
Okay, that's
what?
I guess I'll share my pet peeves.
Yeah. There was one more I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, you go and do your last one then.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember when games that don't punish you if you troll or you team kill or you leave early. I like games. Rocket League has it. If you forfeit a game, you can't play for like 5 minutes, which doesn't seem like that much. But if you're chilling in the main menu for 5 minutes, you feel that. Yeah, I like games where they do that. Because there's so many games you can drop in, drop out, and you fuck this over or whatever it is. It's yeah, it can be frustrating, but I get not all games can do that, and it's only certain types in it. So, but yeah, feel free to chime in. Gem, what do you hate?
One of my biggest pet peeves in gaming is escort missions.
Hey.
There are certain games that do it fairly well. One being, and I'm gonna hear a lot of hate for this, but when you
say Resident Evil 4.
I am gonna say Resident Evil 4, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fact of the matter is, you can tell Ashley to go into a dumpster, and she will stay in the dumpster.
Kinky.
And then it's easy for you to defend her because you only have to keep them away from the dumpster, rather than having her follow you around.
You can peep up her dress. Did you say?
Yeah, like on the ladder bit, when you got the gun, it's usually on top of the ladder because you got to catch her. If you point your gun up, she has a little dig at you. She calls you like a pervert. I was like, bitch, you don't know me. I've come here to save your ass. You can fucking die.
Yeah, maybe you're a dermatologist. I mean,
there's also you can also unlock an outfit for her, which is the suit of armor, which basically makes the parts where you have to defend her impossible to fail. Because when they try to pick her up, she's too heavy. But
unless you got a big magnet.
I don't mind
big old magnet.
Yeah. I don't mind escort missions when I can control the thing that's I'm being asked to escort. But missions where the thing that I'm trying to escort is moving of its own volition, and I have to either go ahead of it or chase after it to protect it, and I have to worry about its pathfinding. Those are the worst.
Agreed.
Because they either don't go fast enough and then stop when you're nowhere near them, or they go too fast and run into all of the ambushes before you have a chance to set up and deal with them.
Yeah, especially when the escorts are defenseless.
Exactly, yeah. If the escort is defenseless, but you can control them and put them into positions where you can defend them, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just terrible if they can't defend themselves and they're completely just suiciding themselves into the target.
No, I agree with 100%. There's one in Spyro 3, I think. There's one where oh man, it's so stupid. You got to deliver. I say deliver. You've got to escort this alchemist, and he's got to give something to this other creature that's helping you. You got to escort him through this like little meadow. But the hilarious thing is, he goes around the most cock-handed way possible, and there's like the rock trolls that you've got to. You can't really defeat them. You just got to like stall them, so to speak. I can't really explain it, but you have to keep them away from him, basically. And then you realize at the end of it, I realized that actually, where he could have literally just gone past one of the trolls and just went there, but instead he's like going all the way around these bushes. I'm like, dude, he's over there. Like, oh man, it was just so close and frustrating because it wasn't an easy mission either. It was, yeah, ugh. So I
Don't they make
paid.
reference to that at the end of the mission? End of that mission there, where Spyro turns around and he says, "You do realize we could have just gone this way, right?"
Why are you asking me? Do they say that?
I'm pretty sure they do, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. The only ones I played, the Spyro 2 and 3, I've only played the Reunited trilogy, so I don't know if they've changed parts. The first one I played both because I used to play that game to death. But yeah, maybe, perhaps, yeah. Either way, it just gripes me. Yeah, I mean, games. There's a difference between a fun challenge and just generally being frustrated with a game. I mean, like it's all well and good being a hard game, but at least give us something to work with.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, SD? What's your peeves? Pet peeves in video games?
My pet peeves where you're doing a quest, you've ticked all the boxes, and then you go to talk to this certain person that you need to talk to do the remainder of the mission or start the new quest, which then goes on to the end game.
Yeah.
And when they don't fucking work, you speak to them going, "Oh, I've been sent here to kill you, but I'm not going to. I want to do your mission." And it doesn't trigger the next fucking mission.
That's more of a bug than a bit of game design, but yeah, that is annoying.
Agreed. Yeah. And
Or
then you
it's
have to go to a pre-save, don't you?
No. You have to do the whole game again, and then for it to break again.
Yeah,
it is a bug. I mean, it's like for my PC. My PC is actually well. I wouldn't say it's very, but I'd say it's enough to run enough textures, if you know what I mean. And if you select a certain texture, it crashes the game.
Damn.
Damn.
I mean, mine's more like bug related or performance related, but if you're going to release a game, at least make it fucking work. I mean, like for instance, I've been playing Outer Worlds. I'm trying to select a weapon, and it won't fucking select it. I've been running around with a pistol the whole time. How I haven't died, I have no idea. I've completely finished just the pistol. Like, you look. It's like,
the pistol's not bad. The pistol's not a bad weapon anyway, especially when you get to like the later levels of the pistol.
So does Dingle? What do you think on that Resident Evil 4 mission? Do you hate it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't a fan of it. But I gotta admit, I did like Resident Evil 4. I don't know. Yeah. The whole, yeah. I mean, what you guys said about your peeves, I've got to say that, yeah, mine probably the same as yours, guys. But I don't like it where there are actual games out there where you actually have to purchase the actual ending. You've seen that where you've actually had to. Oh my god!
You have to purchase DLC, which is what the ending of the game is. Yeah.
That's Black Mirror, isn't it?
That's such a screw you in it. That's like a fuck you. You're gonna buy it anyway. So They know it's disgusting.
This is why I pirate some of my DLCs, just because I can't be asked to pay stupid amounts for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
he's
say
admitting to committing crimes on the
You're
internet.
admitting to do that. You admitted that now, man.
Well, it doesn't
It's a
really
good
matter
thing you got
because
your face
I've
up. Oh wait, you do.
I mean, it's like Fallout, for instance. When I was poor back in the day, when I had no money, I had to pirate things. But now I've got money, I go on Steam and I buy the Game of the Year edition. So I'm still purchasing their product at full price. I'm just doing it later. So technically, it's try before you buy.
Yeah, my ex had that option.
Did you actually get that? What I said?
Yeah,
The whole try before
Yeah,
you
we
buy
heard what
thing.
you said.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because my missus is
What?
calling me, and I thought it fucked up. She tried calling me, so I thought it fucked up the audio.
No. Yeah, perfectly.
Oh, good, cool.
Um,
Just want to make that clear. I like trying before I buy, and I will pay full price for the game I like.
He says.
Yeah, he said. I think sometimes there's just a game that has so much potential. Yeah, it's wasted. There was a game I put on my wish list, and I actually took it off my wish list. It was called Void Train. Where you got to maintain this train, and it like takes you through a portal, and every different level you go through like some random like place with like different creatures and different landscapes and almost like different dimensions. It seemed really cool when I saw the trailer. I was like, damn, this is like a great idea. Until I looked at the reviews, and it was like, ew, people were
hideously broken.
Not enjoying it. Well, I think
you
it
need
was
to
just
see it for yourself.
Hey?
You need to see it for yourself because that's just someone's opinion. I mean, not everyone's going to have the same opinion. You need to see the game for yourself. Look, I don't go off reviews because someone's thought. To me, that might be a good idea. They might not like it. It's all a matter of opinion when it comes to reviews.
I think this is why.
Oh, sorry, go on.
This is why a lot more games need demos, like free demos you can play.
Those are the
Do you remember that? Do you remember demos?
Yeah,
the days of demos.
Yeah.
You can still get them on
that was a really
Steam.
good fucking idea, and then some dickhead ruined them.
Magazines with the demos in. That was cool.
Steam still does demos for some games, but it's not a compulsory thing that people have to.
Yeah.
They're not hentai games, are they?
Not all of them.
Not all.
Oh, I would believe you, Gem, if you told me you had played one of them. I'm just pointing out.
You've literally seen me online playing one.
I have.
I've had messages from you asking me what the fuck the game was.
Oh right. Oh, can't remember. Well, that's enough on that. Anyone else got any more peeves? I'm sure there's that we haven't covered.
There's loads where when you go to the edge of the game and you always have to check to see if the gravity works before jumping off the cliff. That's just you got to check, innit? You got to go, can I jump off this? And you can.
Yeah. No,
or you throw a grenade and it comes back and lands right between your feet.
Or if you're on an island, you swim out to the furthest point you can and see how far you can go.
Yeah.
I like Bethesda's invisible walls.
Well, every game does that.
Like on Fallout, where they've got like invisible walls around the place.
Yeah.
They have.
Like you're trying to climb over this like hill, but then you get stuck on an invisible wall, so they force you to go through like some kind of weird deathclaw infested place.
Death claws. I feel like I have
I'd rather avoid that.
I would like to
Just
revisit your first pet peeve, R-Techz, with the pay to win stuff.
Yeah, go on. I'm all this.
I don't think it's a big deal if it's a single player game and you paying for other stuff doesn't affect other players.
No. Oh yeah. No.
In that instance,
Yeah.
I think like okay, it's a bit sad that someone's putting their money into, you know, getting like the best gun in a single player game. But if they want to do that, that's entirely fine.
Carry on.
But when it comes to like multiplayer games or games where you're interacting with other players, you paying for the best stuff or you paying for the ability to outdo other players then becomes bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
the survival of the richest.
To be fair, I didn't really point that out, but you're right. Yeah, PVE is what it is. Like whatever people want to spend it, but yeah, I was on about PvP really. It's just it makes it less enjoyable as well, and then you're having to play catch up. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Someone's got a gun that one shots everyone. Like, how's that fun?
Yeah.
And cheaters. I think we all have that pet peeve as well. I hate hackers. There's so many of them in Left 4 Dead. It's hilarious. Like a 12-year-old, 13, 14, whatever year old game. There's just so many people doing wall hacks and scripted bunny hops. It's just
Yeah. It's...
I've seen the videos of where hackers and all these like auto, the auto aim.
Yeah.
You know how that works. It's quite funny watching them get trolled.
I don't know how it works specifically, but yeah, I've certainly seen my fair share of aimbots. Yeah. There's like a whole video. There's like a whole video of someone outing someone in the Left 4 Dead community for.
I've not come across any hackers yet. Whilst playing on the PC.
I've only ever come across hackers in Call of Duty lobbies on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
I as far as I'm aware, to be fair, I don't really play that many multiplayer games anymore. But as far as I'm aware, I haven't really interacted with any hackers online for other games. I might be wrong. I might have interacted with hackers in other games, but as far as I'm aware, I haven't.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, can't be a bad thing. There's one more I want to say. I thought this is the one I was trying to think of earlier, where I don't like how. Like, I'll say the game I said earlier. Something like Oblivion. I'm not sure. You guys will have to tell me how Fallout works on this particular subject. But the fact that I don't like it when the world scales with you.
Oh yeah, Oblivion was really bad at that.
Oh, it really is. Like you just go into a cave and get your ass handed to you by some stupid goblin.
Yeah,
carrying an ebony sword and like glass arrows. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so Oblivion is in this weird place because Morrowind did have scaling, but it wasn't like as aggressive as Oblivion's. But also, like, different areas had different levels of scaling. So if you made your character correctly at the start of the game and got all your gear, all your basic gear together, and you knew exactly how to play the game and how to, get your character to be the best, you would then be able to go to like a really high level place, and it would be a struggle, but you could like get really high level stuff really early.
But you had to work for it.
Yeah. But also, like, if you just wanted to play the game as you would normally do with your character, you would start off in the low level areas and slowly work your way up to the point where you could then get to that stuff, and it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, but you sort of wait when you get into an area you can't get through, and then it's all. That's just how it should be, I think. Yeah, because then you can go do other quests, level up, and then you can overcome that boss or dungeon or whatever, and it makes you feel good about yourself. You're like, yes, I'm a fucking boss now.
And then Oblivion came out, and obviously the scaling in that was just ridiculous because it would just be like, oh, okay, so this stuff appears from levels 1 to 5, and then from levels 6 to 10, you get this stuff instead. Then levels 11 to 15, you get this stuff instead, and then 15 to 20, you know. And it got to a point where like everything was tiered. So like in 1 to 5, you were fighting against like basic stuff, but like levels 1 and 2, you're just fighting against the most basic stuff. Then 3 and 4, you're fighting the middle tier of this basic stuff. But because of how much that they massively increase, if your character is not set up correctly, that massive increase between level 2 and level 3 could absolutely screw your character over. Again, with between level 4 and level 5. That massive increase between the two levels there would might massively affect your character. Then you get into level 6 and suddenly you're fighting against a completely different creature. With completely different rules and completely different setup.
It do be like that.
It do be like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do be.
Yeah. It's just because I like the sense of progression, and it feels like you haven't when everyone's scaling to you. It's like, oh well, like there's been videos where people have completed Oblivion or just to level 1, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
So,
You just have to avoid all the quests that do the sleeping or do them first.
That's funny. You got to laugh. But yeah, any more pet peeves? I can't think of anyone myself. That's
yeah. When you're fighting an enemy and they like bow down and like they back off, as soon as you turn around and they stab you, and they fucking run off. They're the one, they want peace. They go, oh no, I'm sorry for attacking, blah blah blah.
That's a big
okay. And when you turn around, they poke you right in the ass.
Yeah, that's a big thing in Skyrim. They go down on
no
one knee.
Survivor's attitude.
Yeah, they go down one knee. It's like, give me mercy, and if you like just stand there and just let them get back up, they'll just attack you again. You can't talk to them and say, all right, here's mercy, run away.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You just have to kill them.
That's it.
Well, do you sorry, sorry, just quickly say this, SD. I'll let you know. You finish. There actually used to be something in Skyrim, like when they do their bow down thing, like mercy, and obviously they get back up and keep hitting you. But there actually used to be a feature. The reason why they done that, there originally was a feature where you could make them, yield, not kill them. But for some reason they just didn't follow up on it. Go on, SD.
That was a case of.
In Fallout 4 they actually have the intimidation perk.
Oh yeah.
Where you can aim your gun at them and say, look, fucking do what you're told, otherwise I'll kill you. And I did it to the super mutant. It's actually quite funny watching super mutants fight each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do have another pet peeve.
The one.
When you have a game where you can build your party up from like, say it's like a role-playing game, you get to get companions, you can build up a party. Sometimes you can like take previous bosses that you've beaten and add them to your party. When they're a boss, they're absolutely amazing and absolutely kick your ass.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
But as soon as they join your party, they are dog shit.
They are retarded.
Oh yeah.
That sounds very bad.
It's like, I get having someone so powerful at your side would be overpowered, but if you're powerful enough to defeat them, then they should remain at that power because it makes sense.
Amen.
I get there's some cases where the reason that they lose their power is because when you defeat them, you destroy the thing that gives them their power. And it's sort of like, well, then why am I recruiting this person? If they've no longer got their power, why are they joining my party? They're fucking useless.
Yeah, it almost seems obsolete, doesn't it?
Everyone's brought up death loops. They did that in Dying Light 2. I was stuck in a death loop. I had to email them, and then it sent me like out of the map, out of the mission area, until I had like 3 seconds to get back in to the mission. I was like 2 states away from it.
2 states.
Yeah, I was like in Manchester when I needed to be in Poole. It's like, what?
Did you get it sorted in the end?
I did, but I just didn't like the game altogether. I kept trying and giving it a go, and it was lagged. The death loop was bad, and there was other mechanics that were wrong with it. And it's like this was like as soon as it came out, and it was like they must have known that it had all these problems on release, but I don't know. Yeah. I had to get rid of it. It sucked.
They don't test their games enough. That's the downside, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just get out.
Sometimes it isn't that they don't test the games enough. Is that the QA team have reported these problems, but the people who made the game are either being rushed to release the game by higher ups, or don't think that the problem is as big as the QA team are making it out to be, and then the players get to it and get that problem, and then they go, "This is unplayable."
Yeah.
So that annoys you because when you like buy a game and literally you put it in, it's saying literally update and patch. The patch already. It just came out an hour ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Black Ops Day 1 release.
I mean, so they put. I mean, games in. Some games are in early access for years, like literally.
Yeah.
Which I do find funny. I must admit.
It's weird though. You think about it because you remember when like the PlayStation 1s were bad and the N64s. They couldn't do anything then if the game messed up because it was out on shelves and they couldn't, because it wasn't connected to the internet, was it? So they couldn't go into the hard drive and change everything. Now that it's come more on the internet side and everybody's got to be connected to Wi-Fi, the more problems we get. It's a bit weird, that.
Every once in a while they would release something like a director's cut or, definitive edition or whatever for those games where it did have a little bit of extra content, but it also fixed all the problems that the previous game had that they never really caught on to before it went released. But generally speaking, older games back when the internet wasn't a major thing or even wasn't a thing, they genuinely had to at least be playable from start to end.
Yeah, because you don't see that. I mean, because you don't remember getting a PlayStation 1 game, putting it in, it says update file. But as soon as you buy a new game, that's the first thing that ever pops up on the screen. Update and patch.
Yeah.
Game's been out for 3 minutes.
Patch went live before the game even went out.
It's madness.
Patch before the game.
But I think the more that the internet's got involved with the computer and consoles and that, the more problems that, like this we have. It's just weird.
At the end of the day, it's the publishers that are the problem because they're the ones that are pushing these games out because they want to make the money from the game.
Yeah.
Well, that's
they didn't realize that they'd make more money if the game gets good press for being finished.
But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't care if I have to wait another month or two, right? I want a nice developed game that I can sit down and enjoy. I don't want to get a game then have to wait for updates and all this crap. Because you're buying it I'm more than happy to sit back and wait a couple extra months.
Yep.
You know,
Agreed.
not
That's
to
quite fun.
buy a game and then just.
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
be-
64 gigabyte download, and then like you're hit with like a massive 112 gigabyte fucking update.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's annoying.
Another thing that I'd like to point out is it's not really a gameplay thing. It's more of just a whole
Developer big shit.
the culture of game development now. With there's a lot more games being produced that are, you know, like Kickstarter or these other like crowd-sourced games.
Yeah.
Where basically the developers are promising you extra content in exchange for you to keep on giving them more money. And the main issue with that is that obviously the more that money you give them, the more they're incentivized to put more things up. But then that increases the amount of time it's going to take for them to release a finished game, and it also increases the amount of chances that bugs can enter the game.
So yeah, I didn't think about that.
So
Oh,
you got
bloody
things
weird,
like,
Mentioning that, I've actually got another peeve.
Oh, go on.
With the PlayStation 5, you can actually rebuy old retro games, such as like, well, for me, for instance, like Gran Turismo 1 and 2. And even though I have the copies of Gran Turismo 1 and 2, physically, and a PlayStation 1.
Wink.
I have it
No, I
legally.
don't
nudge.
I have a legal copy.
Definitely
I'd
not
have
on
to
a
pay it
CDR.
again. Yeah, I have to pay it again just to have it on my PlayStation 5. It's like, well, I have the disc. Why can't you just give it to me? Because I've already paid for it.
Backwards compatibility is not a thing anymore, unfortunately.
PS3, you can play PlayStation 1 and 2. Well, PlayStation 1 games.
Could you?
PlayStation 2, you get the PlayStation 2 games if you get the right console.
Yeah, the very first ones that came out, you could play PS1 and 2 games. My brother had one of those.
I remember the old school Segas and the Nintendo 64s. How life was so much easier back then.
I had a Nintendo 64. That was an
They
amazing
got
game.
them in CEX,
I mean, console.
50 quid, and I'm debating to get one.
50 quid. That's actually quite
I
a
want
bit.
to get all the Zelda games again, Majora's
Oh,
Mask and all that.
GoldenEye.
If you see
Gold
one with
Knight,
Glover, let me know because I want to buy that.
Which one?
Glover.
Glover.
Yeah. Glover. Great game.
No, not Ryan.
Right. He's in bloody New Zealand.
Oh,
They got one. They're selling one. I want to get the Majora's Mask, the Zelda game. Fucking missed that game. But yeah, old school. And life was simple. Now we live in a world where you can identify as anything you want, and you got to wait hours for a game to upload and fix.
What a world.
released.
What a world.
It's probably for people who have like a gigabyte internet connection. Or gigabit internet connection.
I've just thought of another pet peeve of mine.
Oh.
Well, diary of them, dictionary of them, from A to B.
QuickTime events.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
I get with certain games like the ones we were talking about before, with the like interactive movie, where the entire game is basically a QuickTime event. If you know in advance they're going to be there, it's fine. But when you're playing like a just regular shooter, like Call of Duty or Battlefield, or Armor, and then you're going along, and then suddenly out of nowhere, it's just like, now mash X, circle, square, triangle, X, 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 circle, X, 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 X. I mean, it gets ridiculous, and like when it comes out of nowhere, it just then means that you're going to die in that section, and it's just artificially padding out the game purely because you're worried that there's not enough content and people want to play for so many hours in your single player or something like that. And so you're just padding out the game so that they spend more time playing that rather than enjoying the actual game that they paid for.
Agreed, mate. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I'm
I don't think I have peeves. I think I just have bad habits in games. Like I said about, if you're near a cliff, the first thing I automatically do is see if gravity works. Or like as soon as I get given a gun, right, I just shoot a bullet off. If I did that in the road, right, could you imagine everyone's face? I just started firing off rounds willy-nilly. You know what I mean? I just automatically, I just have bad habits in games.
So there's not enough ricochet on games as well.
Mm.
I think the only ricochet games I could think of is Sniper Elite or Elite Sniper, whatever it's fucking called.
Oh yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. The first Metal Gear Solid did have ricochet, but only for 2 weapons, and it was only actually used in one boss fight.
Damn.
Right, I've got to leave you guys. I've got to.
Yeah, so we need to do final thoughts and head anyway.
Yeah. We'll just do them quickly now then, yeah.
Yeah, let SD go first, then you can jog on.
Yeah. SD, do your final thoughts. We'll go up from reverse alphabetical order.
Yeah, pet peeves. Mine are more performance related, but that's just how games are these days with updates and just general. Let's get it out the door and then worry about it later kind of attitude. Many of them are. I mean, these pet peeves, they're more of minor things. I mean, yeah, so the Oblivion ones where you're in a fucking tavern or whatever and you overhear a conversation and then suddenly it's in your fucking mission diary. I guess they're kind of giving you something to do, or they're giving you a chance where you won't miss a certain thing you have to do. I haven't really played Oblivion, but I'm guessing that. But yeah, I don't really see them as a big deal, but they are annoying. And that's it.
And the other topic?
Barbie?
Well, the Barbie one, it's all the matriarchal bullshit, feminist, Nazi pieces of shit that's trying to ruin Western society. I mean, try and do that in Eastern countries such as, I don't know, China. Or, God forbid, if you live in North Korea, fucking good luck. Gonna change anything there. But, it just sounds, it's ridiculous. We've got bigger problems than fucking, Barbie and Ken and fucking matriarchy and fucking patriarchy and that bullshit. I mean, come on. I mean, we've got we live in a society where being, I don't know, a capitalist is looked down upon, even though the opposite of that is much fucking worse. I mean, think of the USSR where just had property taken off people because they need to give it to people who don't work or don't have anything. It sounds ridiculous. You have to work for things these days. And that's what I don't think this generation gets. You have to work to get what you want. Nobody's going to tell you to do it. You have to work it out for yourself. And that's what I did, and that's why I'm living comfortably now, because I got off my arse and actually did something.
Amen. And you did well, my friend. You did well.
Yeah. And that's my final thoughts.
Good.
He's only doing well because of his OnlyFans. That's it, people doing this, okay? He's not made it big, just selling his ass on OnlyFans.
Yeah, he's only in the top 99%.
Anyway, I've got to get out of here, so I'll catch you guys in a bit.
Yeah, buddy.
Later, SD.
Thanks.
All right. R-Techz, your final thoughts?
Barbie thing, I agree with SD, not to the degree he was on about, but I mean, I don't know. All these things seem to be pushing some down agenda. Yeah. Sometimes it just. Sometimes you just don't even know what to say about it. I mean, we've spoken about all this stuff throughout all these episodes so much, and unfortunately, it's just the same crap again. Of course, I'm not speaking from knowing this because I haven't seen it, but I'm not planning on seeing it. If you do see it, Gem, let us know. The film sounds interesting, but I won't be watching that either. what was the other one we were literally just talking about? Pet peeves and games. Yep, I agree with I think all of them. Yeah. And yeah, that some of them are just so some of them are minor, some of them are major. You know, glitches. There's not much you can do about that. I mean, you know, we might better get a mod. Some quests get bugged, don't they? Like the amount of times I've been on Skyrim or Oblivion, and and the amount of same people who are also stuck on that part, but not because they can't do. They're not because they're not skilled enough to get through it, but because an NPC is stuck in the water, or the NPC's not there, or the game always crashes. Do you know what I mean? Wherever it may be. Yeah, we're all on the same page there. So that's me.
All right, Dingle, you want to share your final thought?
Yeah, the start, the Barbie, and all that. I won't be watching them films. I don't know why. I just don't want to. That's my point on that. Don't really care for Barbie, to be honest. I think she's stuck up. So, you know what I mean? Just plastic tits and all that. We know Barbie. All right, we know. But the gaming, I don't think I have. I just have bad habits in games. I mean, there are things that annoy me, but there are things that I shouldn't do in games. Like, it's one involving a car as well. It's like, as soon as I know I can drive in the game, I always see if I can run over the first person I see. So you're probably wondering why I ain't got my license. There you go. But I have bad habits. A lot of bad habits, but there are things out there that annoy me, like SD and stuff. But I don't. Yeah, that's my thoughts really.
And I will do my final thoughts. Barbie and Oppenheimer. Honestly, I am interested in going to see either one of them. So, Kat, if you're listening, let me know which one you want to watch, and we'll go watch that one.
Sorry to Jeb. Is Barbie like animated, or is it like real
It's
life?
live action.
Oh, okay. Makes me not want to see even more now. So.
They do have animated Barbie movies, but I don't know. From what I've heard, they're pretty bad. As for gaming pet peeves, I agree with a lot of the ones that have been brought up, and any that I have, like any minor disagreements with, is usually in a niche case. So it doesn't really matter, because always the case is that it's when that thing is either the central part of the game, or it's something that doesn't affect the game because of how you can interact with it. This has been the ThaStr8UpBustas. I will let everyone do their goodbyes, but obviously SD is gone, so I shall do his goodbye for you. And that is that he would probably put both of his middle fingers up and just walk out. You can follow him on Twitter with the main ThaStr8UpBustas Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter with ThaStr8UpBustasGem. You can follow the Reddit, which is the ThaStr8UpBustas podcast. You can follow R-Techz on Twitch, which we are currently live on. You can also follow his YouTube channel. When this comes out on YouTube, it'll be on there. You can follow Dingle on his YouTube channel.
Hey.
And you can follow him on TikTok as well.
Hey again.
And for extra content involving all of us, obviously Dingle's channel, we game together as often as we can. On R-Techz's channel, I also have a series called The Straight Up Warlords, as I started this episode out pretending that we were going to go into that. I've enjoyed being your host for tonight, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, bye.
I've been R-Techz. Yep, check us out on our socials. It's all for a bigger cause.